I'm 3 years clean. That's it. I've just been using my system to train my brain to recognize PMO as something worthless. If you're someone who is trying to break free from a PMO addiction, then chances are that you've encountered the EasyPeasy method, and it's a very powerful concept. Basically, what the EasyPeasy method does is that it reframes the way you look at the PMO addiction. EasyPeasy makes a couple of claims that, once understood, effectively battles the urges. It basically takes away their power. And the core principles of EasyPeasy is this, right? It acknowledges that an addiction is some sort of brainwashing, and what this brainwashing does is makes you believe that PMO is valuable. And since it's valuable, it's something you want to do. And when you try to give it up, it feels like you're missing something, like you're punishing yourself and that there's a sacrifice. The point with EasyPeasy is this, that PMO is not something valuable. And since it is not something valuable, you're not really giving something up when you're stopping to use it. Instead, you're actually gaining something. You're gaining freedom, you're gaining peace and energy back, and that you should be happy because of this, right? So that's one of the core principles of EasyPeasy. It's super powerful once you understand it, and it's basically just a reframing of the mind, right? And once it is installed, it should last, but unfortunately it does not. If you go to the subreddit of EasyPeasy, you will see that a lot of people are relapsing. I myself, upon reading EasyPeasy for the first time, felt the freedom that it promises. And I don't remember exactly, but I think I went a couple of months without PMO. But eventually you relapse and then you blame yourself. You say that it's because I did something wrong, there was something missing, I just got to reread the book. So you do that, you reinstall the frame, and then you go for a certain period again, but eventually you relapse. So it's the same experience with most people I know that have used this method. And the reason this method doesn't work long term is because that life happens, right? You do not have the same mindset day after day. It almost always changes a little bit, and over time, it is not as strong as it was once you first got it. So once you experience different kinds of boredoms, anxiety, stresses, life, work, whatever, and the mindset of EasyPeasy kind of starts to lower, then PMO becomes more attractive again, and you might end up doing it. And what EasyPeasy tells you to do in this case is to reread the book, because obviously you haven't fully comprehended what the book is trying to tell you. It is telling you that the brainwashing is still there, and the brainwashing makes you believe that PMO is valuable, so you need to reread the sections where it goes through point by point why it's not valuable, why it's taking away from you, and why it is creating the need to use PMO and then offering itself as the solution. So that's like a very rough summary of what the EasyPeasy method is, and at its core it's valuable, but it lacks, right? It lacks because people still relapse, and since that was my case, I wasn't really satisfied with the long-term results of this. That's why I had to create the Accountabilio method, which is the method that helped me break free. And I've been free for 3 years now. And in the last year, I've been helping other people break free. And everyone who uses the system that I made, everyone who uses it when they need to, they have found freedom. I have many testimonies of people claiming that it works. You just gotta work the system, and I promise you that it will work. And the system is built on similar core values as the EasyPeasy method. What my system does, what the Accountabilio method does, is that it acknowledges that there's a part of you that is addicted, right? So there's a part of you that is brainwashed, same as the EasyPeasy method. And this part will do whatever it can to stay alive. So anytime there's an opportunity for it to PMO, it will rationalize that you do so. So you might be stressed, and if stress is a normal trigger for you, then the brainwashing will tell you that, hey, you should just do it. It's not right this streak is not right either way. You've already kind of failed, so just get it over with, and then tomorrow we can start again, and tomorrow we can just finally break free, right? So your brain will kind of use that the addicted part of your brain will kind of use that to make you relapse again. And that is basically the brainwashing at its core, because it sees PMO as a solution to your stress. And since it's a solution, it is something of value, right? What the Accountabilio method does is that we identify that there's a part of us, so we kind of separate ourselves from the addicted self. We identify that it's there and that it's telling us lies. So we write out the lies in the system word by word so you can clearly see the brainwashing, and then we answer it. We answer it with the truth that we want to reinforce. And the truth is that PMO doesn't really solve the stress. It just creates more of it, or it might just numb you out in the moment so you don't feel the stress, but once you're done, it comes back double. You feel more stressed, you feel more overwhelmed. So it's not really true then, is it, that PMO is the solution to your stress? It's not, it's simply not. And we write it out and emotionally and logically connect to that. And upon doing so, it's like a rep for the brain, you know? You train your brain in the moment of an urge to separate itself from the urge, identify the lies, so the fake value, and then you answer with the truth. And the truth is that PMO is not the best solution for this. My stress needs to be solved with something else. It's not PMO, all right? And upon repeating this, your brain kind of installs a new program. So that's the differences between EasyPeasy and Accountabilio. Accountabilio, where it shines, is that it's repeatable. It's a system. So I made it an app and I made it a website. You can also do it on pen and paper. You're free to choose. It's repeatable, so anytime, anywhere you have an urge, you don't need to recall what you read in the book. You can just open the system and go through a structured way of disarming the urge and then repeating the behavior that you want, which is to be free. And after you've done the Accountabilio method a couple hundred times, your brain will kind of shape to this and it will make it the standard condition. So all that is left for you to do right now in this moment is to kind of start using the system. It has the core values of EasyPeasy. That's kind of where I got the inspiration from. And I added a step of accessibility and repeatability. The more you do it, the more it works. And the more you teach your brain that PMO is not something of value. I'm not missing out on anything. I'm getting something, but that's not the focus either. You're just really not getting anything with PMO. So I would recommend anyone who's struggling to initially just grab a pen and paper. Every time you're urging, just write out what the urge is telling you to do. It's all lies, but just write it out, see it clear as paper, and then write out the truth next to it. You can do this on pen and paper. It takes a bit of time, but that's initially how I did it. Eventually, I created this digital system so that I could do it more and I could gather more data. Because I'm a guy who values data. I like when something that has led me to success before can be repeated. And since it can be repeated, I will kind of push on to that and make the success tenfold. And tenfold success when it comes to PMO recovery is that I'm 3 years clean. That's it. I've just been using my system to train my brain to recognize PMO as something worthless and that life without PMO has value. So test this out, guys. See it for yourself. I'm sure it will work, but you have to work the system, right? So work the system. And if you need any advice, you can jump on a call with me. Just DM me on any of my socials that I'll put in the description, and we can have a chat where we just talk about the nuances and I help you instill this mindset too. So that's the differences between Accountabilio and EasyPeasy. I hope you found it valuable, and I'll catch you in the next one.